this video, I'm gonna go ahead and walk you through the whole process of setting up, going over the features and everything that it has to offer, and I hope you enjoy it. Let's go. Alright guys, we're doing the unboxing the old-fashioned way. There you go, unboxing. Okay, let's go ahead and see. I don't think we need a knife for this. This thing is nice, man. Wow. Let me give you a closer look. Man, this wind is crazy. It's gonna bring it down again from top of the boondocks. Look how nice it looks. I love those wide open deck from Pelican. Really cool. The sea will go here. You would have thought it was gonna take me like at least 2 minutes to put this boat together, right? But as you saw, it only took 1 second. All I had to do was to put the seat and we're ready to go. I could literally take it on the water right now. All I had to do is grab a paddle and go have some fun, and a fishing rod if I want to fish. This kayak is the Pelican catch mode, and the mode it stands, I think, is because you could modify it and make modifications to it and make it your own. Starting right here in the rear, as you can see, this version is the Catch Mode 11 TR. That's because it has a transom mount. But don't worry, if you have the one with the skeg, you could simply replace it. Just remove this 5 bolts. I've done it before on other Pelican kayaks, like the Getaway, and put in the skeg or the rudder, whatever Pelican sells. This is a cool idea. Now, the reason why I got this version from the get-go is because I'm not really gonna be using the skeg. The skeg is for tracking and paddling if you're gonna paddle only. And you know, if you know anything about me, you know that I love motors, right? I love motors. So I'm gonna be putting here motors, and I'm gonna be trying several motors. We're gonna have trolling motors, and then we're also gonna have the Bispy, of course. Here we're gonna do a demo with the Bispy as well, and I have the NK300, but that one will require some accessory changes right here in the back. I may have to remove this and cover it with a plate and then be able to put that NK unit on top. But we do have the NT300, which is a transom mount, and you could just slap it in, and I think it will be perfect for this kayak, this setup. I want to see how fast that thing goes in here, and I'm getting excited, and that means one thing and one thing only. I'm gonna be doing that video pretty soon because it's super easy. All I have to do is put in the NT300, put it on the back, take it to the lake, and of course put in my Amped Outdoors lithium battery right here. But anyways, just take it to the lake and have fun, because it's fun, trust me. The other thing I'm gonna be doing is, whenever I wanna do a true hands-free fishing setup for motors on this kayak, I'm gonna be probably gonna have to be removing these tracks and put some sort of like footrest. But anyways, those are the ideas that I have for this boat. Let me show you what you get out of the box. This tank well right here is nice, it's deep, it's big enough. I could definitely put a black pack in there. It shouldn't interfere with this here. I mean, if you see the other video that I got the Pelican Wilderness System Attack 11, and I put my black pack here, and the rod holders were kind of like hidden this right here, so it wasn't pretty. But in this kayak, I think we have plenty of room to make sure that there's no interference. But hey, get the thing that actually works for you. Milk crate, black packs. Pelican has their own crates. You can check it out on their website. All that stuff, just make it your own. Scooper plug right here to prevent water from coming in from the bottom, but the water is gonna be coming out and pulling here if you put a scooper plug in there. So you gotta see how you like it, you know, how the boat performs and all that stuff. That's why we're gonna be doing a water demo and a fishing video as well, so you see all that stuff. You got 2 flush mounted rod holders here in the back. I'm gonna touch on the seat later because there's a lot to talk about the seat. You got a nice handle here, another one over here, and I love these handles in the middle because I could just load up this kayak on my truck, put a strap through it, and it will be a secure setup. I don't have to worry about the kayak falling off in the middle of the road. You also have gear tracks, 2 of them. This is nice because, I mean, if you use Yak Attack accessories or any accessories that uses the track mount, it's just plug and play. You don't have to drill anything. And something I saw here on the back is if you need more tracks on your boat, you could definitely add them. This is very flat right here, very flat. You even have more flat area here on the back. It's a little warpy, but I think gear track could still work here. Definitely here, a small one. The point is you could add more gear tracks to the boat if you need it. You got a forward facing flush mount rod holder. That is really nice. A lot of people complain about these rod holders, but they're special. Why? Because a lot of times you forget to take a black pack or your rod holder system, whatever, but the boat has 3 built in. And this one is very useful because if you're changing baits, if you just landed a fish, you could just plug it in there. And people use it for camera mounts as well. So going forward, you got a nice deck padding right here. Very comfy, it feels good. I'm gonna be standing on it a lot. You got 2 areas molded in for cup holders with a bungee. This is super cool right here because you could fit any size cup pretty much. I mean, you could probably put a pot in there and be totally fine. You got 2 more scupper holes and you have the footrest that, I mean, I wish it was different. Hello. You move it to where it's gonna work for you. That's pretty cool. Again, if you're gonna be paddling this boat, these are epic because it's not gonna move out of position. But if you're gonna be motorizing it, it would have been a better idea to just have a free sliding footrest that you could lock down. This one, I don't see a way to make it like that. Well, I guess you could, but then you won't be able to steer because see how it looks? I don't know yet what I'm gonna do. I may just drill this out and just put in the new one. It's gonna be tricky though because I don't see an access point. I don't see a hatch. Now moving forward here, you got this nice area here. It's kind of like a storage place. I like to throw coolers right there in the front. With the old Pelican Catch 130s, when Andres was little, I would put him right here in the front. That was special. But that's how it looks when you take this thing out. The cool thing about this is if you just want to have a day bag or something like that, you can just throw it in there and cover it and you're golden. It's not gonna fly, it's not gonna go anywhere because it's gonna be held down with these bungees. Now, look at this right here. Boom, you got those little, these are for your rod tips, so it's gonna protect your rods. The only place that I see that I could probably put some sort of hatch will be right here in the front. I think we have enough space to do that. And with that hatch, I should be able to use a rigging bullet or some sort of backing and replace those things over there. Oh, I forgot. We could also use yak attack accessory. Oh, I have the idea, man. I think I have it. Moving forward to the bow, you have a handle here. And this one looks kind of like the old Catch Power 100. That's cuckoo nice. Let's talk about the seat. I really enjoy Pelican seats, and the reason for that is, look at this. You got a nice foam padding right here, so when you put your butt there, it's not gonna get all marked by all this little fabric thing. That's pretty cool, but it still dries up and it's ventilated here, so your legs should be fine. You got little pockets, so if you need to throw maybe a credit card or something, your license in here, you could put it there. And over here you have more pockets, not pockets, whatever this is called. Maybe you want to put like some sort of pliers in here or the hooker, you want to have it close to you. Here on the back you got a nice opening here, so you could definitely add lumbar support if you put some sort of divider here, phone or whatever, so you fix that. And if you move it up like here, and if you just close it, you have a nice seating area. This is nice. This fabric, this material feels very, very nice. So you can see here, and the cool idea about that is, look at the camera. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. You get the idea? You could basically fish 360. I would call this a poor man 360 because you don't have a swivel seat, but you do have this backrest that you can sit on or stand on if you're brave enough, and you could literally just put your feet here in the back and cast that way, or turn around and cast to the front. One of the biggest issues with kayak fishing is positioning, and with that you remove a lot of the headaches, and you don't have to worry about you know, like all of a sudden sweeping over and falling off the boat because you're still grounded. Uh-oh. I wanted to flip the boat over so I could show you the bottom hole, because this is very important. The bottom hole is gonna give you the stability. And as you can see from this boat, it has that tunnel boat hole design, which is gonna give you a lot of stability. And also, it shouldn't be a drag on the water. Look at that. You see that tunnel there? I'm gonna be flipping this kayak for sure. But I can tell you that you can stand up on this with no issues whatsoever. The seat is actually not that high, so your secondary stability should be really good as well. Any kayak flip, so that's why you should always wear PFD, and also test the limits on a safe environment with friends so you know what you have, so you don't go crazy. The boat is 10.5 feet. Pelican rounds it up to 11. It weighs just the whole without the seat about 64 pounds, and with the seat you're looking at about 67 pounds. That means it's extremely light boat. That's some cool stuff. Now it retails for about $799, which is also an excellent price, and is made right here in Canada. Well, not here, but it's North America, as you can see there. Now me showing you this view is probably raising questions about this. What is that? And I heard from some people that this type of kayak, the way it's built, is bad news. Well, let me go ahead, put the kayak on the ground, step on it, and talk about why it's probably one of the best ideas ever to build kayaks like that. Although nothing is ever perfect, and every way you do something, it's gonna leave questions and concerns. The way Pelican builds their kayaks is really a cool idea, because this thermoform allows them to put foam in areas where normally a sit-on-top kayak that was cooked in an oven wouldn't be able to. These decks from Pelicans tend to be very rigid compared to other kayaks. The entire deck feels very rigid. Boom, 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 boom. Right here, especially here, feels very solid. Over here, you see that starting a little, flexing a little bit, but not too much. Not like, oh, I'm gonna have a problem, but this is where you're gonna be standing up, and this area, it feels very, very like hard, and that's because they're able to put foam blocks where it's needed. Let's take this moment to address the elephant in the room. I don't see any elephant. So the way these kayaks are put together, you basically have two layers, the top and the bottom, and they fuse it, they weld it together. Sorry, my hands are dirty because of the packaging was dirty. But anyways, they fuse it together, and that's why you saw that lip on the side. But that is the strongest part of the kayak. This kayak is not gonna break apart. The top and the bottom is just not gonna open up and you're gonna end up with half of the kayak on the water. No, that's not gonna happen. It is the strongest part of the kayak, so you have nothing to worry about. I have tortured kayaks made by Pelican, like literally run it through the streets, hit it with hammer. The kayak is still there. I need to destroy it because it was a prototype, but it's still there. Pelican makes really good kayaks. For the price, extremely good kayaks. I have no problem with the way these kayaks were made. And I'm the one who reached out to them to send it over. Quack, 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 quack. The best way to put this kayak on the water is by making a splash. So, it went away. Oh my God, it went away. Always remember to also put a rope on your boat, not just your kayak cart. That was funny. Okay, Lucas, let me get on the boat. No, let me do a video, Lucas, and I'll come and get you. Deal? I think we have the perfect day to test this boat here because it's very windy. As you saw, as soon as I push it on the water, it just kept moving me back and back and back. Look at this, going like 7 miles an hour. Let me just start going that way to get a feel for the boat. It's a 10-foot kayak. Tracking could be better. Now I see why Pelican have a motor with the skag. It's not a bad paddle against the wind. Not wasting a lot of energy. I'm gonna do a speed test very soon. I just want to go ahead and turn here first and see how it is to paddle with the wind on your back. Oh my god, you don't hear anything. Just put the blade on the water and it feels like you're going 10 miles an hour. Whew, what a difference, using the wind to your advantage. This kayak is very wide. It should be easy to stand up on it. Let's find out.
Sit.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you're under 220 pounds, I would say, you have no problem standing up on this boat, as long as you know what you're doing. You could tilt it a little bit, it's gonna hold you, that secondary stability is there. Of course we could flip it, and we're definitely gonna be doing the flipping test later. What's up, Lucas? Not yet, Lucas, I'm filming. When I'm done filming, I'll get you, okay? Whoa, whoa. One of the best things you can do as a kayak angler is being able to stand up and paddle standing up slowly, so you see far away and you see the fish before they see you, because that's really what scares the fish. Proximity. It's not the motor, it's not the PDL drive, it's not the paddle. The push pull is if you get too close to them. A few things I want to test before I do the speed test. I want to go over there to the shallow area and do a shallow test. I'm kind of paddling, not against the wind, not with it, just cutting across. Standard boating procedure if you need to go somewhere and not really get hit with the conditions up front. All right, as soon as I reach the end of this, I'm gonna turn and let's see how it turns. Nice. Now I'm using the conditions to my advantage, but gotta get rid of that. That skeg is very needed on this boat, let me tell you. But the reason why I got this model is not because I'm gonna use it as a paddle kayak. I'm gonna use it as a motorized kayak, but I still wanted to do like a water demo, paddling the kayak, so you get an idea of how it works if you don't have a motor yet. But I mean, look at this transom mount right there on the back. Boom. All you have to do is just slap your trolling motor there, you're good to go. And we're gonna do exactly that as soon as I finish with this water demo. I'm gonna slap the NK300 on it and take it for a spin. Look at how shallow it is right here. Oh my god, it's like 1 inch of water, literally. I'm touching the bottom already. It's literally 3 inches of water. Those are rocks. That's a rock right there. Make sure I put extra marks on the kayak. Dude, I'm basically rolling through the bottom. Nothing stopping the boat. Some other kayaks, they have like heavy keels or skags or things, and it will be a drag, but this one doesn't have any of that right now. So if you're gonna be fishing very shallow water, this thing will work. You could just get the motor to take you there, bring the motor up and stand up and do your little thing. It drafts very shallow. All right, so let's go ahead and easy paddle. 2 miles an hour, 3 miles an hour, 3.6. I could maintain this forever. I'm not gonna feather the paddle right now because I'm just doing a simple test. That when you feather the paddle, you cut into the wind like that, so it's easier to paddle against the wind, but I'm not gonna do that right now. If I push it hard, 3.3, 3.6, 4 miles an hour, 4.5, 4.3. 4.5. Hey, that's not a bad paddle for a 10-foot kayak that was designed in mind to take a motor and giving you extra stability. Because if they want to make it a paddling kayak, they want to make it smaller and a more like a beach-shaped hole and all that stuff, and you don't want that. So I was able to keep up like 3 miles an hour super easy without killing myself. The problem was when I started hitting it hard. Now I want to see how good this wind is. Let's see how fast I push it going that way.
What's up, Dave?
Okay, so this is 2.5. This is 3.9. This is 4.6. For 4.9. 4.9 is the highest. Briefly, it touches. Let's see how good it turns. 10-foot kayaks, bro. They're super easy to turn. Okay, guys, so tracking. There's not an area here today that I could really test the tracking of this boat, but just gonna give you an idea of how it does. Just gonna go ahead and let it go. Lucas. Okay, so let's go ahead and go this way.
Okay.
I'm gonna let it go.
Keep going.
See, you could tell right here how it just, again, there's a reason why they added this keg. So if you're gonna paddle this kayak, get this keg. It's gonna help you a lot. Let's go ahead and bring the heavy motor down here, the 3 horsepower, and take it out for a spin. This wind is no joke. First thing is, I'm gonna put this heavy battery right here. Gonna open the tank well, bungee, drop in the battery. Gonna make sure that I bungee it down in case something happens. I don't think it's gonna hold it, but you know. All right, let's go ahead and put the motor on the catch mode. 3 horsepower engine. Man, the wind is horrible. Let me go to the other side so you could hear what I'm talking about. Okay, there you go. Boom. Okay, we got the motor installed. Let's go ahead and plug it in. Okay, guys, can we do this as reverse? Whew. So windy. Let's give it full throttle. Sweet. Water wants to come in, man. This may be too much power. This is fun though. Let me turn here. Okay. Alright, let me do a few things here. Let me put the paddle to the side. Make sure I remove this scupper plug from here so it will like go out, the water that came in will get out. And now that we have that, let's go ahead and go in reverse and do another lap. Make sure to lock it when you go in reverse. There you go, it's locked. In reverse, it's locked. The thing with these motors and going reverse, these kayaks were not meant to go in reverse. So if you go in reverse, a lot of water is gonna go in. I'm not gonna go full speed in reverse because what's the point? I do wanna see, first of all, how it turns. It would be nice to have some sort of rope here so you kind of like give yourself extra balance when you're turning, like you don't fall out of the middle. Because, I mean, this thing is powerful. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Ooh, let's say you turn right here. On the spot. I wonder how fast I'm going, bro, but this is cool. I'm gonna pass in front of the camera now to see how it looks. We have a draining situation here. I'm gonna wait for the water to get out of through the scuppers. I think the reason why the water is not going out that fast is because the scuppers have a little tiny hole. See there? That may not be enough to take all the water out. I'm not sure what this kayak is rated for, but definitely you should use it with a trolling motor instead of like a 2.5 Suzuki or a 3 horsepower. If you do want to use it with those motors, just be mindful that water is gonna come in if you go really fast, if you turn around. So just be safe out there. That's why I do this test, to give you an idea of how the boat does. I'm gonna turn around slowly. I want to see if some of that water gets out. It's taking longer than it should really for the water to come out, and the reason is because of what I just said. Those holes, look at them, they're too small. Like, I don't know if it's gonna void the warranty, so I cannot even tell you to go ahead and make them wider. So, but I do want to get the top speed that way and this way. 5.3, 5.1, 5.3. Like, it doesn't go past that. At a certain point, the motor is just like working overtime to not do much, because it doesn't matter how much you punch that wall, you're not gonna break it if you're just using your hands. So that's pretty much what we are. I filmed the first part of this video, which it was with the battery in the bag, and I don't recommend you use such a heavy battery in the bag with a super strong motor like that, because the boat is just gonna get full of water and you're not gonna have a fun time. So I moved the battery to the front to test, to see how fast you could potentially go and to see if it's any better with the battery in the front. So let's go ahead and go in reverse right here. So you can see, don't go in reverse. It's not fun, it's sketchy. Do not go in reverse. But let's go ahead and go forward. I'm gonna hold on to this right here and just go full throttle. Woo! As you can see, no water is coming from the back, but there is water coming through the scuppers. Probably the scuppers that is down below my seat, and it's pulling right there. So the problem is that water is not going to drain fast enough, making this maybe not practical to just go and go super fast on this boat. I do want to see how fast we can go now that the battery's in the front though. Hear that torque? 6.2 miles an hour, 5.7. Definitely an improvement. Is keeping at 5.7. Before, with the battery on the back, the maximum was like 5.3. So 5.7 instead. The other thing is that if you go and turn really fast, even when you have the battery in the front, water's still gonna get in from the back and it's just gonna pull there. So what do I recommend? Well, if you know what you're doing and you don't mind the water or using a heavy battery, yeah, go ahead, plug in your super powerful NT300. But if you're a newbie or you don't know what you're doing, just don't. I think this catch mode was made for trolling motors, basically, or Bisbees, which we're gonna be testing the Bisbee, something that is not ultra powerful, that is not gonna put a lot of water on the boat. That's why we test things here, because you're gonna assume, oh, just because it has a transom mount, you should be able to put a 2.5 or a 3 horsepower on it and it will be perfect. No, that's why I like to test these things. I have a Bisbee video on the catch mode from Aliex that you could check out to see how it does with the Bisbee. I'm also thinking of modifying the NK Pro, which is not as powerful as this, and the battery is lighter, and see how it does with that. The testing is not done yet though. Tomorrow I'm gonna go ahead and plug in the Suzuki 2.5 because it's only 29 pounds and we don't have the battery. We don't have to deal with that. And I'm not sure yet how it's gonna do. I wanna test it. I wanna see if it's the same thing. Another thing you can do is you just go slower. I mean, you don't have to go ultra fast, but the point is you have a super powerful motor, so you go ultra fast.